Give Drinker this. Usually I find him just laughably stupid. But this made me sad because he made so many mistakes in describing the Flash. It was incredible. So let's just get right to it, where he seems to be confused why anything is happening at all, even though the film did do something there.
Earth looking for Superman, so the two Barrys decide they have to bring together the Justice League to fight him. The only problem is that they don't actually exist here. Cyborg is still just a college football player, Aquaman was apparently never born, and Wonder Woman is, on vacation or something? I don't fucking know because the script doesn't seem to know either. The only option left is Bruce, so they go to Wayne Manor to find him, except he's not the Bruce Wayne that they remember. And
So he's confused as to, well, why do these heroes exist? Why do these heroes not exist? There's literally a scene with Batman where they went through this, where he tries to explain retrocausality. Now, to be fair, they're stretching this concept of retrocausality to the breaking point. I'm not a physicist, but having done the research, it is a real thing. Maybe they abused this concept, but they did try to give you an explanation. And this is just a lot of the review where he seems very confused, but the film did try to go through an explanation. He just wasn't paying attention. I will grant, in some cases, it's a little murky, but if he just was able to put two and two together, it wasn't that confusing. Which brings up Supergirl being not Superman, which
the actress does a decent job, and I wouldn't have minded seeing more of her, but she gets kind of lost in the chaotic, overstuffed mess that is the film's second hour. General Zod is a fucking weird choice of antagonist for a Flash movie, a character from a movie 10 years ago that has absolutely zero history or connection to Barry. It'd be like bringing back the Red Skull and having him fight Doctor Strange. I mean, in the hands of smarter writers, this probably could have been a chance to see a different side of him, explore aspects.
well, it's not that hard. Basically, they're referencing Flashpoint, which is technically what they're adapting. But I will agree that Flashpoint being referenced here is pretty weak. They only did a few things from Flashpoint. But one of the things in Flashpoint is, yes, Superman was captured, so he's not the Superman we know. But instead of that, they replaced him with Supergirl, changing major minor details. Again, you can see they took the structure of Flashpoint and adapted that, but they changed many, many things. So it's pretty obvious Drinker is not a comic book fan. He's only really a fan of the movies, which is fine. He should say that, though, because he makes it sound as if he knows what he's talking about with Superman and Batman. But manifestly, he does not. In fact, he really didn't care about the Flash at all. The only thing he cared about was Batman, and even there he was very critical. But the reasons he was critical were insanely laughable.
He doesn't learn or change in any way, and he's not around long enough to really connect with Barry as the paternal figure that I think they were going for. Also, this movie basically proves my point that Batman is not compatible with big Marvel-style battles against alien armies and giant sky beams. He's a crime fighter that's supposed to be leaping across rooftops and stalking the dark alleyways of Gotham, not taking on giant CGI monsters in the middle of the desert in broad daylight. It's such a cheap, shitty misuse of such an awesome character.
Well, you might make the case that Batman is better off being on the ground or having confrontations that are not cosmic. With these major, massive fights is canonical. He did that in the comics. And if you don't like comics, it's fine. He did that in the cartoon. He did that in the animated series. He did that with Justice League. It's as if his media literacy when it comes to superhero material is almost zero. If you think it through conceptually, this can't be true. Batman has had confrontation with, quote, a big monstrous alien. In fact, it's been pretty consistent in almost every iteration. You know, like Superman. Remember Superman? He's a big alien. He's fought Batman. Batman has fought him. So this whole review is just a waste of time. He just hates Ezra Miller. He hates the current DCU. He hates feminism. He hates gays. He hates too many black people. He hates too many Hispanics. Blah, 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 blah. I get it. Okay, fine. The only one accurate criticism he had was the visual effects were a little dodgy. I agree, the visual effects were very uneven in The Flash, but beyond that, this was just a mess of mistakes. I will say this, though, if you do defend The Flash like I do, because if he's representative of, quote, the Flash critics, they just didn't pay attention, they didn't care, they didn't like it, they don't like Ezra Miller, it's fine. But they don't have any real criticisms of the movie, they just don't like it at all. It's like, okay, that's fine, you don't have to like it, but if you're going to dislike it, you need good reasons to dislike it. and he provided only one legit reason, and that was it. And that's not sufficient to say The Flash is a bad movie.